and sit down.
Mate, we're live. There you go.
Ding.
God, that was quick, wasn't it, eh?
That was good.
Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Frolic with me, Festa 67's workshop. Hello.
Hello.
And we got him, the guru.
Hello.
Yes, folks.
Hello, yes.
Welcome to our little world of Friday shenanigans, where you two can put up with us two pillocks.
Try to put up with us.
So if you'd like to help keep this channel alive, you can do so by supporting me on patreon.com/Festa67's workshop, or you can click the join button below to become a channel member. That gives you access to the Zoom 24/7 hangout, and also you could leave a super chat in the chat there. Get your comment in a nice big box in the chat window, and you get a bit of on-screen air guitar for your trouble, folks.
Air guitar.
So let's just load me chat up, then that it's just literally dropped off the screen, and then we'll have a look at who we've got in, folks. So I shall do that imminently, which we're doing now. And we have got myself and the Gnu saying hello to everyone.
Hello.
We've then got the Bobbins saying, howdy-do, chums. Hello, Bobbins. How are you, mate? Lovely to see you.
Diddly-do to you.
Rura is in, says evening all. Hope you're all well and had a great week. You too, mate. I hope you're keeping well.
Hello.
Bill over at LWM Modelling is in, says evening, peeps. Hello, Bill. How are you,
Hey, Bill.
geez?
Do you realise to the Welsh that's loom?
All right, okay. Yeah, all right. Marcus is in, says good evening, Fox and Jack and Colin. Hello, Marcus. How you doing, geez? Bobbin says, no horse fingers, how disappointing. Oh, yeah, you kind of, yeah.
They're done now. They're finished and in a box.
Absolutely, ready for painty pops, aren't they? Well, priming and painty pops. Aurora says, I was nearly late as I've got the Lewis Collins film, Who Dares Wins, on the TV and the Frolic on the laptop. Good film. I always liked that film, I must admit.
Wait, does that mean he's multitasking?
Yeah.
Impossible for a man.
The bit at the end where Richard Widmark looks at him and goes, cool, you did not throw one hell of a party. To the ambassador, it's like, yeah.
I don't remember ever watching it. I think I have. I don't remember it.
I always wanted the ambassador at the end to look back at him after he said that and go, Ferraro Rocher. Yeah. So, anywho, let's say hello to me sidekick and see what he's been up to. So, hello, sidekick. How's you and how's me mum?
Damn it, am I a sidekick?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that. Quite
Well,
happy,
you've been
actually.
promoted from being a scroat, so you should be happy, shouldn't
That's
you?
true. I'm not a minion anymore, am I?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So
Started out an underling and I've barely scratched the surface since.
Oh,
I'm fine, thank you.
Lamekins, show me on the dolly where the horrible Festas hurt you. Come on.
There.
Tell me all about it.
I'm fine, thank you. I'm not too bad. Mama Wolf is fine. She's fast asleep downstairs.
Oh, good girl.
All good here. Not very busy this weekend, but I did finish my Horsey Man. So tonight I'm carrying on with my... Oh, God, I've got to look at the box. Aussie Arc Bone Reapers Mortisan Tithe Echelon. String of random nonsense words. Which Mama Wolf got me about 2 or 3 years ago as a present, and I never got around to finishing, so...
It's a big old list of wordage, wasn't it, mate?
Yeah, what is it? Aussie Arc Bone Reapers Mortisan Tithe Echelon. It's just nonsense.
Yeah.
Lots of
Happy days.
Skelly Bob dudes.
Yeah.
So I've got little dudes to finish and then a big thing to make.
Oh, nice one.
Skelly Bobs. What are you doing, my friend, and how are you?
I'm fine and dandy, and my Brabham is ready for paint, so that's all in a box with its sub-assemblies. So that'll be going in the spray booth, and then will reappear as a painty video. So this week, I am going to start doing this bad boy. I bought this a couple of years ago, and it is an MSM07S ZGOC. Master grade, under me type gadgety, underwater, lungy type thing of wonderment. And as you can see, it looks a bit like I used to on the doors. The man with no neck going, oi, you can't come here, there, no jeans. Yeah.
I think you're going to have to sculpt a Crombie out of green stuff, aren't you?
So that's what I'm going to be up to. There is an absolute shed ton of plastic goodness in there. Look at that lot. Oh, yeah. Wouldn't it, eh? Oh,
get it.
So I'm going to sit and start building it up into torso, arms, legs, and all of that lot. Mm-hmm. And then when I've got them done, I can then have a look at them and see where I want to sculpt panel lines and add extra bits of detail in it, because it's a bit smooth and it's a bit plain. And
it's got to be festered.
Yeah, you look at it and you think, well, that could be a panel that's got removable bolt heads in the corner that, you know, so do a little bit of sculpty on it. So I'll do all the sub-assemblies and then I'll have a look round it and see, let it talk to me, and yeah.
Festa's doing a Gumpler, folks. Festa is doing a Gumpler.
Exactly. And then that'll then end up going off to primer when it's in its sub-assemblies, and then I can bring it back and I can paint it on a live stream because I can do it with brush.
Yes.
And do almost like a Warhammer-esque type paint job, you know, with brush painting rather than airbrush, brush. So,
have you got any thoughts about colour schemes and stuff, or are you just going to wing it when you've built it? See what happens, see what comes out?
Yeah, I'll see what comes out. It's going to be a bit like the Kshatriya, because Kshatriya is steampunk.
Yes.
But I've had it stood over there wanting to talk to me, and she has now, so I found my box of bits. And I can then now go back to that one and finish filming that. So again, this one, I shall have it in its component parts and take a picture and then save it as a wallpaper on the desktop. And then I can just sit there and stare at it, and a colour scheme will come to me then.
I can't express in words how happy it makes me to see a Xeon symbol on your workbench.
Well, yeah, I'll probably end up hand painting one of them on there somewhere. There is a decal set in there somewhere, if I remember rightly.
If people minds would have been blown if I'd suddenly pulled out like a shiny car kit and you were doing a Gumpler.
Yeah, the likelihood of that would be remote.
Yeah,
there are some decals. But
I should have got myself a cheap kit, shouldn't I? Just say, look, I'm doing a shiny kit. No, I'm not really.
Yeah, you'd have hated every minute of that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going to be doing. So
cool.
Like everything, you know, it's not going to be out of the box, because out of the box is boring.
Yeah. Gumpler is freedom.
But yeah, so I can where these, what I tend to do, where these designs are, like you got front and back there, is I then tend to get me pencil and I'll just sketch in little panels and shapes, and that then becomes what I use to lay panel lines. So that's why I end up drawing on these, because it just helps me figure out where I'm going to put panel lines and stuff.
I know what will be a perfect Gumpler kit for you to fester up the panel lines. There's a mobile suit called the O.
Right.
And it's massive. It's just a big, square, fat, chunky boy, basically. But it's got very little panel detail on it.
Right.
And even the HG one is small, but the Master Grade one is quite big. And it just begs to have like a billion panel lines etched into it and lots of detail added. It's like,
well, the last Gundam I looked at, I was saying to you before we went live, was a good couple of £100, and I just couldn't justify that amount of money.
No.
That's the only thing that is difficult with these, is they can be expensive. I mean, this...
Yeah, there's perfect grades.
Yeah, this I got on a deal at the time at Amazon, and yeah, so I snagged it quite cheaply, but...
Yeah. That's why there aren't that many perfect grade kits, because they're like premium, super expensive. They're like I was saying to Festa, really, it's like the perfect grade Falcon. It's the same kind of thing, with that kind of price.
Yeah.
You don't do them very often.
It's just how it is, isn't it?
It's just that they cater to that end of the market. When you see the engineering on them, you look at them and go, yeah, I can see why it costs that much.
Well, yeah, it's a bit like the MFH debate, isn't it? You know, they're that expensive for a reason. We know that, you know, but even so, it still rolls your lips up over your jaw, doesn't it? And you're like,
yeah, you're not going to buy them on a whim, are you?
Andy is in. Andy Quiddy says, evening, Fox and Festa all in the chat. Hope you have a great show. Hello, Andy. Hope you're doing all right. We got a belly, bench and beverage from Aurora. Yes, folks, belly, bench and beverage is a thing. Big belly spaghetti with spicy tomato sauce earlier, and now a big plate of chips covered with slat and vinegar. Okay, I use salt myself. Bench, nothing at the moment. Bevy, orange and lemonade with a lot of ice. Bill says, didn't the choir sing Zagok, the priest, at the coronation? My bad. It was Zadok, the priest. I see what he did, though. You can have brownie points. Yeah, you can have brownie points for that, Bill. That is, What have I got as my beverage is a cup of rosy. A bottle of me orange juice and, for grub, 2 Rustler's ping burgers and fries.
Oh.
Someone is going to be getting a photograph sent to him. Because this is what I do.
Yes, he sends me pictures to torture me. When he knows I don't have such filth available.
Because I don't say to him, what you got? I've only got a tin of Spam. I'm like, oh, that's a bind. And then he gets a message going, yeah, look at these big, juicy Rustler's burgers.
Yeah. And it's always like him sitting in his comfy chair in the living room with the telly in front of him and this plate full of food. I'm like, oh, I hate you right now. Well, we had McDonald's for dinners because my mum said I'll have McDonald's because it's Friday early night because she goes to bed early on a Friday.
Yes, so folks, and luckily for us, it's now Saturday the 14th, but it was Friday the 13th, wasn't it? And yeah, my missus was teetering around all day because she is the most superstitious woman you could ever want to meet.
I don't know.
Yeah, normally she has Friday the 13th off because, she's a bit, but she couldn't get it off this week. So she teetered out the door, that one eye around the door frame type thing, it's kind of sweet.
I don't know.
Sarah Jane is in, says hi, Colin Hugs, and whoever the other is. Hello, Sarah Jane.
Very much.
I got your email, love, so I'm going to add that to the gallery, ready for when we do our gallery show at the beginning of the month. So I'll add them to it, love. So thank you for sending them. We have got Jeff Light is in. He says, hello, Cole Fox and everyone in chat. Hello, Jeff. How are you, mate? Big hugs and love to you and Maggie. Formula One this weekend. I've not watched any of it yet. So if we could have no spoilers, I'd be immensely grateful. I know it's only practice and that, but it gives me something to watch tomorrow because I'm home alone tomorrow, see? So I'll be teetering around wearing a circle in the carpet because I don't like being on my own. So I'm lucky it's a motor racing weekend, so I can just sit and watch that. Let's line them up.
No sport at all this weekend.
Yeah, you're not. You're not a sporty person, are you? It's not your thing. So.
Bill says, apologies for that. It was probably a little too civilised for in here.
Oh, don't be daft. A little too civilised
It's
for
rude,
in here.
isn't it? How rude is that?
Yeah, give us some credit, Bill. We did go to school. I've got a degree, mate. Come on, I am educated.
He does. He's got more qualifications than I have. I never went to university.
Yeah, he may mock me a lot for my God blimey governor, but yeah.
But that's just done in jest for the comedy purposes. It's not actually how I feel, is it?
I know that.
I'm telling them, not you. That's not actually how I feel. It's like he's got more qualifications than I have.
Yeah, I can't say what university I did the degree at. But University of Life. Oh, that distinctive sound of Bandai sprues clattering.
Oh, yeah. I love the fact you can actually buy these like racks for sprues for Gunpla, but they only hold about 5 sprues, and you look at it and go, you're right.
I think they printed one. I've got it up there, my sprue rack, but it takes up so much room on the bench when it's not been used, and I should dig it down, but to put it on the bench, I'd have to move Robocop, and at the moment, this is the safest place to stand my Robocop at the moment.
Yep. I saw one guy who actually just got a clothesline across his workbench and just pegged all the sprues to it.
Yeah.
Like, not the best, but it works.
I've seen all kinds of contraptions for it. L-shaped coat hangers where they've unravelled the coat hanger, screwed to the front of the door with the sprues to still on them.
Yep, you're an L-shaped coat hanger.
Absolutely. I like being an L-shaped.
L-shaped coat hanger.
L-shaped coat hanger.
Spanish, you see. L-shaped coat hanger.
So we did there.
See what I did there. 72 or 73. Now, I've got a question for the audience.
Go for it.
I have to choose a head for this gentleman. And I've got a choice between mildly fabulous headdress or ridiculously fabulous headdress.
Oh, God, this is you. Duh. What one do you think Fox is going to go for?
I think I should go for ridiculously fabulous headdress that includes a helmet. But what does the audience think? Wildly fabulous or ridiculously fabulous? Marcus has put a super chat in for €11.99.
Thank you very much, Marcus. I was literally just about to read that.
Oh, and Bill says, well, I got my bronze swimming badge. I never got a swimming badge. I never learned to swim.
Yeah, I taught myself. So, yeah, thank you very, very kindly for that, Marcus. Massively appreciated, mate. Don't forget, folks, as well, Marcus is live himself tomorrow night, so head over and keep him comfortable for his weekly Saturday at 10 p.m. stream.
Yes.
Wibbling may be happening because, yeah.
Of course. Correct answer is both of them, says Sarah Jane. Ooh, so it'd be absolutely and utterly fabulous. I could do that. I could always cut the headdress off one and try and cobble it onto the other one so it's got a double fabulous.
Zaphod Beeblebrox style.
Yeah, could be. Actually, I wonder if I could do that. That'd be interesting.
Be different, wouldn't it?
Give him a stupidly fabulous headdress.
A man of your scratch building prowess, I can't see why you couldn't do it.
I have no scratch building prowess, and that's my wife. That's no harpy. That's my wife.
So we did there.
As long as I don't need that head for anybody else. What could I do with it? I could do. What I could do.
Aurora says the second one.
Good choice.
See, we all know you. We all know deep down it's going to be the most flamboyant one you can find.
Yeah, it'll be the most fabulous. I really must get round to painting my absolutely fabulous Imperial Guard man that I made. He was kind of doing musical theatre whilst he was in fighting. I meant to give him a pink outfit.
Was he doing the big entertainment style cabaret hands and all of that?
Yeah, he had arms wide apart, like going ah and stepping forward as if he's like
one of those. I am what I am.
I am what I. Yes, exactly. And he looked absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, I could just imagine.
I kind of didn't intend to do it. I just glued the arms on a bit wrong when I was gluing them on. I'm like, that just. And then I decided I was going to give him a squad of like, it'd be like the entertainment squad for the Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
And then they'd all be in pink for the, the dramatics and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I never got around to painting it. Because, even Imperial Guard troops need entertaining.
Exactly.
And I would expect theirs would be just as bad as ours in real life.
Yeah.
The Emperor's own theatrical and pantomime squad. Light entertainment squad. Thumbs up, Pete, says Marcus.
Andy says, Octopi is all printed and well. Thanks, mate, for all your help. I'm glad I could help, Andy. Welcome to the world of Octoprint and remote accessible 3D printing, mate. You've opened up a world that you're going to be trapped in for many times. You're in the printer hole.
Yeah, you've opened up a world of not quite as expensive as it would have been if you hadn't done it.
Yeah.
Because you can now get a lot of stuff a lot cheaper.
So, yeah. Well done, mate.
Yep.
Raspberry Pis may have been added. I wonder who put him up to that.
Can't imagine who would have thunk of that.
So, no, I'm
pleased, mate. Your mum is in, Tasha.
Hello,
says,
Tasha.
Hi, Festa Foxx and all in chat.
Yeah. I'm pleased, Andy, because, just gives you a lot more scope with your printer, mate. And you're going to find this. You're going to be sitting there with your phone, with the 3D stare, staring at the screen, watching your print, and it's like, yeah, I can do this thing now.
Yeah, where the actual printing is as much fun as everything else.
Yeah.
Watching it do.
It's witchcraft and tomfoolery, mate.
Yeah, just think how you'll be getting all teary-eyed when you think of him having his first 18-hour print with a failure at the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, but that's where our Uber settings come into it, you know, that's...
Yeah, you've got to go through it once, haven't you?
Yeah, we get into the world of bed adhesion. I've not had a failure in 4.5 years, so haven't done bad. Yeah, but then that's when I put all this new motherboard in and all of that, and I've been really lucky since. Because Andy was quite surprised at how few prints have been cancelled in my history. So.
I always like to think there's two groups of people that do 3D printing. Those that think that 3D printing's easy.
Yeah.
And those that get good prints.
Yeah.
Aurora says, of course, it would be the most flamboyant as Foxx is the Liberace of Frolic.
He is very Liberace. I can just imagine that, yeah.
I need to break into my hooded claw voice now, don't I?
Yeah.
I'll get you, Penelope Pitstop. That's kind of a bit like, that wasn't very good.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's the hooded claw with laryngitis, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I can't remember what Liberace sounds like, but he always sounds like the bad guy in Wacky Ray, Penelope Pitstop, I always thought. Oh no, I can't remember his voice. I don't remember how it went. I can hear it in my head, but not enough to make it come out of my mouth, if that sounds wrong.
There's going to be people that do not know who Liberace was, mate. So.
Yeah, I don't even have a piano, never mind a candelabra to put upon.
A unique entertainer, wasn't he, Liberace? Let's be honest, you know. Very flamboyant.
Oh, absolutely.
And, yeah.
It's not something you get anymore, the piano-based entertainer or the music-based entertainer.
Exactly. Don't see it.
Like, no, I mean, like there was Liberace. I suppose we've got Bill Bailey.
Yeah, we had Bobby Crush, didn't we, in the 70s, pianist.
Bobby Crush.
Gilbert O'Sullivan, do you remember him?
Oh, God, yeah. And there was the Austrian guy who would sit at the piano and do routines, and he was absolutely hilarious. What's his name? I've forgotten his name.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd stand up and do this little talky bit, and they were just very dry humour, but I can't remember his name. Somebody in chat remind us the Austrian guy. He's long gone. He was in the 70s. He was a pianist.
Pianist.
Pianist. Oh, there goes the monetisation.
Wouldn't be surprised. YouTube normally do what they can to take it off me.
Yeah.
Gotta love them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the right way.
That's the way to do it.
I've got the old man.
Don't. I was playing that last night and I went to his shop and he's like, I thought of you when I walked in. He went, don't forget the old man. Because I'd sold all my stuff to the other guy and then went to him and sold him like one kind of tin of food or something.
Oh, right.
The other guy bought like 500 grams worth of weapons and he's like, I'm just going to sell this one tin of food to the other guy. Don't forget the old man. I did, mate. That's why you get a tin of food. You don't get all the guns. He just looks like an extra from the bill. You've seen him. You know, it's just he looks like he does.
Yeah. Natasha's saying hello to everyone. And he says, I am buried deep now. Yeah, you're in the hole now, mate.
You are. You are in the hole. There is no escape for you. Tommy, the war is over. Do not deny this. It is a fact. There's nothing wrong with being in the hole.
Yeah, but it's a nice place to be, Andy.
Yeah, it's a good hole to be in. There are plenty of holes you could be in life, and trust me, it's one of the least bad.
Everyone said hello to Dasher. Don't forget, folks, any questions, feel free to ask. Fox will answer them all gladly for you.
Right. I might not. Not if somebody does a super chat and tells me to shut up, in which case you'll have to. Don't forget you can do that, folks. Do a super chat, a super chat, and just say shut up, Fox. And it's £1 a minute.
Sarah Jane's ears have just pricked up. Then she's like, oh, there is a God.
She's like, I've got a card with £1,000 on it.
Yeah, there is a God.
I get to do some work and Festa gets to get a word in edgeways for a change.
Yeah, be careful what you wish for, though, folks. I'll tell you what I will do. Do a bit of that, I think.
I think you should do a bit of that.
Purely and simply because...
What's it started you on the torso?
Yeah. Upper torso, shoulder joints.
Shoulder.
And like I say, they're all push fit, so yeah, very easy to do.
Goodly fun time build.
Fun weekend build.
Model Railroading with Eric Graham says, let's see what rabbit hole we can send Colin down this week.
Yeah, he knows.
It's not hard.
He knows too well, mate, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's not hard. You know what gets his goat.
Good to see you in, mate. Hope you're keeping well. Hope family's all right. All right, so we've got a bit of that going on.
I don't know why, but I've got what was the Jerry Anderson thing with the submarine? Stingray. I've got the Marina. I've got that stuck in my head. I don't know why.
God only knows why.
Aquamarine.
Who knows what goes on in your head, mate.
I think it's because of Aurora for some reason. It's making me think of a Marina.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, your head is a weird world to be in.
My head is not a place you want to be anywhere near.
Let's move them over there. You're getting a bit cluttered there, Festa. Bit of bench organisation. Right, there you go.
One Skelly Bob dude complete.
I'm proud of you.
It's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts on these dudes.
Oh, nice.
They're not exactly like interlocking parts, though.
Although there's only 5 parts, there is options where you can actually have one that doesn't fit.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because, like, the parts, they're not like sockets together or anything. It's just like you put the 2 parts together and they kind of just, yeah. A little bit ropey. A bit dicey, you know what I mean?
It's dicey.
A little bit dicey. Very gormless pose, actually, he's in that chap. Very action-oriented pose. Oh well. He can go over there. Little chap looks like he's about to fall over. Yeah. Poor man. Okay. He's a Mortec Hekatos, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Get a fig. Now we all know.
Oh, there you go then. I'll sleep well now knowing that.
I like to Hekatos.
Oh, I'd heard you. No.
Steady.
You knew where that was going straight away, didn't you?
Stay on target.
You got the sniffles there, mate.
I have got the sniffles. No, apologise. It's warms. Now I'm building a Necrophoros.
Oh, right. Yeah, that and all.
Like,
yeah.
you know, like it's more headdress. Oh, no, it's not headdress this time. My choice for head this time is knobbly or extra knobbly. Okay, apparently.
I was going to say,
as with the best of, as is with such it is with life, basically.
You like a bit of knobbly. That's what I did.
Yeah. I think extra knobbly is the way to go.
Sarah J says, why would I shut Fox up? Just listening makes me doze off. Oh.
Rude. So rude.
Poor Fox, he's going to hurt his feelings now.
I know. I might have to go off into a corner and just have thoughts.
Sarah J sat there going, bothered. Am I bothered?
Face bothered. 43, 44, 14, dear.
Hand explain it to. I know what you're doing.
It's one of Games Workshop's biggest challenges. They glue the arm to the flagpole in such a way that it matches with the body.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, challenge accepted. 46 or 45? Well, 46 is more extravagant, so of course. Stupid question.
Exactly. It's the fact that you asked which option you should go for. That was the funny part. It's like,
yeah, I like to make the audience think they're involved at least.
Yeah, you had to ask. It's like, all the options. Well, I don't have options. I just have to add everything.
You just add.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to have options. That's part of the deal.
You have 2 buttons, add and also add.
Yeah, it's like how to attach all these things to this one Warhammer build.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind, to be quite honest with you, because, yeah,
it's like, Festa, yes, why does your Imperial Guard infantryman have a bulldozer blade?
Yeah, why shouldn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't he want a bulldozer blade? Because he's a man. Exactly. 42, there we go.
I love how they put a mould line right round every serrated edge there.
Oh, yes, welcome to 1990s Bandai.
Yeah.
Natasha says, I got the Loco, but God knows if I can build it.
Oh,
Is
good for you. Yeah, yeah.
The big boy locomotive?
Yeah, Ron Centre it.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I saw the picture. You sent me a picture of it the other day, Natasha.
Which? What?
Yeah.
This is great. It tells me to add this part to it, but doesn't bother telling me what number the part is. It just says add this part. Okay. I'll guess it's that one then. Is
it the same bloke that did the instructions for the Stomper?
It could be. It's just add this sword to the body. Which number? Thanks. I'll go off the one that looks like the one in the picture then, shall I?
Oh, yeah.
Best I can do and hope there's not more than one. Yeah, it looks about right. Maybe. Oh, maybe it doesn't. It's not got a skull on it. Oh, or has it? Oh, I don't know.
Oh. Hopefully my fan ain't too loud for you folks, but it is very, very, very warm in here tonight. So we have to load the fan up, I'm afraid.
Blow me nose, what's that?
So apologies if it is too loud, but...
That's what gives me the sniffly nose, is the warms.
Yeah.
The warms and the lenses. Whew.
That's the thing I find the worst, is the lenses.
Yep. Weigh your nose down. Squish your nose.
Right on the bridge of sinuses, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
We end up sitting there going, can you share my nose?
Yeah, share my nose. Although, to be fair, it's a lot less stress on the head than the headband ones, which just give you massive headaches after about an hour.
Yeah.
We all thought they were great at first. After a while, it's like, no, I actually feel like I've got a brain tumour all the time.
Yeah, they attract every bit of moisture known to man, don't they, them things?
Yep. And then you have to go and answer the door with a great big pink ring around your head. If you, I knew I was going to. There's no way to not say pink ring there. But...
Yeah, that really, really came out well for you there, didn't it, mate?
I'd considered other ways to say it, and it just there's nothing was happening.
You're just obsessed, aren't you, with rings?
I couldn't avoid the pink ring.
See what I did?
If you mean the cooling fan, I can't hear it. If you mean the Fox fan, you're up too loud. Sorry, couldn't help it. It says, very rude, Sarah Jane. I don't know what I've done to deserve such rudeness. I might have to go away and have a think. So mean.
It's a term of endearment. She loves you, really. She's sitting there going, no, I don't.
No, I can't stand him.
Yeah, don't say that, Festa. I don't, love. I don't. Honest, trust me, Festa, I don't.
It doesn't bother me.
spin that around just in case it is handed.
Spin it around. What number was that one?
Like that. Happy days.
PJ's in. I've noticed there's a lot of talent in the chat, meanwhile on screen. And then he says, hi, Colin and Fox. Can't stop long, still recovering, but I'll be back with you soon. Hugs to all. Hi, PJ.
Brilliant. Good to see you, PJ. Yeah. And, I got your message earlier, mate. And,
Yeah, you're back at it soon enough, buddy.
He'll be back with us soon, folks, keeping us on our toes. Everyone said hello to PJ. Stephen Haynes Models in, says hi, Festa and Fox even. Hello, Stephen.
Hello.
How you doing, mate? One said hello. Bill says Spaceball 2 has been announced. Life is good.
Yep.
And, PJ will be back home to his abode shortly, folks. He's,
We've sent him a big order of all the worst pot noodles.
Exactly.
They'll be there when he gets back. Probably up behind his door.
Yeah, but the problem is he's been having to suffer regular messages from me, and yes,
Did you send him all
should
those blue
feel
reaction
sorry for
figures?
him. I was going to send him a step-by-step video on how the Bluey car was built, but it would have sent his blood pressure up and I would have kept him in for another week. So
send him a Bluey get well card.
I can imagine the thanks I would have got for that.
Oh, yeah. There would have been words in that message, I think.
Yeah.
I got my wall for Bluey Mother's Day card. And a badge.
Oh, Connor's in, saying hello as well. Hello, Connor. How are you?
Connor.
Lovely to see you.
Aurora says to Bill, I saw that yesterday. I can't believe that Mel Brooks is 99. Would be great to see Rick Moranis back on. I thought Rick Moranis had died. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought he died. But yeah, it's the only thing they won't be able to do is, of course, John Candy playing Bath. Which is a shame.
He died very young, didn't he, John Candy?
I don't know what they'll do about that. It's not like you can really recast it.
Unless they do one of those AI things and bring Brett that way, a bit like they did with Carrie Fisher.
Could be, but then again, it's although I was going to say it's Mel Brooks, it's a comedy film, it'd be half budget, and I thought, actually, no, because sometimes they do effects better than the big movies.
Yeah.
Some of Mel Brooks's films.
Knowing Mel Brooks with his humour, he'd just have a cardboard cutout that gets wheeled around the set, because that's his humour, isn't it?
Yeah. I have to admit as well, I always wish that they'd made a model of the ship. And nobody, apart from a resin kit you could buy from some small garage company.
Yeah.
There's no official model of the Winnebago spaceship. I remember seeing pictures of the studio model they used, and it's just great. It's just a Winnebago, dirty, filthy Winnebago with rocket wings. It's just
a
great.
dirty, filthy Winnebago.
Filthy, dirty Winnebago. You little... nearly. Bobbin says, bedtime now, work in the morning, have fun.
You take care, Bobbins, as usual. Thanks for popping in and keeping us company, mate. It's always lovely to see you, mate.
Mm-hmm. No Joan Rivers either as Doc Matrix. No, that's true, because she's not with us anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you.
Go on.
No, go on.
No, carry on. I've lost my train of thought now.
I was just about to say, I'll tell you what I saw the other day that shocked me. It was on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and he was interviewing Neil deGrasse Tyson and William Shatner.
Right.
At the same time, because they're doing a thing on stage. And I sat there, and of course William Shatner, he just took over the whole interview, basically. It was hilarious. But I sat there and I was like, he's 99 years old and he's as sprightly as a 40-year-old.
Yeah.
And he's talking there and you wouldn't know he was 99 years old.
Oh, don't Axe just told us.
Or 95. Well, no, I mean, you wouldn't believe he was 90. It was 90, something like 95 years old. 95 years old. Mel Brooks is 99. But you wouldn't believe it to see him. He looked just as sprightly and young and energetic as deGrasse Tyson and Stephen Colbert. It's amazing.
Yeah, he always has kept himself pretty active, hasn't he? And that,
Yeah. I hope I'm that sprightly and alive if I get to 95.
I'll have to send Winnie down. She'll tell you her secret.
Yeah.
Carl, I can imagine your reaction. Carl, what? Could you take her back?
She told me a secret and then I got arrested.
Yeah, she's sitting there with a glint in her eye and winks at you. That's when you got to worry.
Yeah, but like, right, what is missing from my room now that was there before you came in?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, she spotted something now. That's done, that's done, that's done. How much of that is visible?
Visible. Good eye.
Because...
See, I was always disappointed that they never made Jews in Space. The little gag at the end of the History of the World Part 1, where they have like a little fake trailer for the fake Star Wars like film called Jews in Space. And it's like, that would be a great film. And they never made that. It was just a one-off gag.
Even though Mel Gibson would do it, Mel Brooks even, could you imagine the woke brigade now?
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do it now. But 25, 30 years ago, they should have done it.
Even though the irony would be it's Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
You still get people complain. It's a different world, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, look at it. Would Blazing Saddles get made today?
That's a tricky one, because...
In it? Yeah,
because it's like, you see people screaming about it, it's like, you really are a moron, aren't you? You haven't watched the film, have you? No.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah. It probably could make Blazing Saddles today. Probably.
Yeah. It just makes you wonder, doesn't it? Because, yeah.
I remember when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I understood the premise of Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. It wasn't too difficult to understand. I mean, come on.
No, and I was telling my friend, I was like 9 years old, and I said to my friend, oh, you need to watch this film, and his dad was like, oh, we're not watching that, it's racist. I'm like, no, it's not. I tried to explain it to him.
Yeah.
His father was like, no, we're not watching that. I'm like, oh, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Never mind. So he missed out on that moment of cultural enrichment. Andy Preston's here, says, hi, everyone.
Hello, Andy. Lovely to see you, mate. Hope you're keeping well.
There is a reason there's no official merch. Brooks would only make Spaceballs with Lucas's blessing, and the agreement was they wouldn't do merch for the film. Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, because he wouldn't want to miss out, would he? Yeah. What have we got?
Well, they could have still made it without Lucas's blessing, but I suppose they're all old friends, aren't they? So.
Yeah, it's gentleman's agreement, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah, I don't know why I thought Rick Moranis had died years ago.
Yeah, he's one of them, isn't it? Yeah.
Who was it that played the gate? The little... Was it him that did the gatekeeper guy in Ghostbusters? Or was that another guy and that's the person that died that I'm thinking of?
Yeah, the guy from Ghostbusters did die, didn't he? Can't think of his name.
The one from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Was that Rick Moranis? Am I confusing him with someone else? I don't know. This is where some idiot will be like, oh, it's the Mandela effect. No, it's not. It's just me being an idiot and misremembering.
No, I'm sure one of them from Ghostbusters died. I'm sure it was the really tall fella.
No, yeah, he did. The one no, it was Rick Moranis that was in it, and no, he's not dead. No.
Yeah.
I don't know who I thought it was then. Oh, to blow my nose again. Gosh darn it, temperatures.
Bill Murray on the goggle box, and it's like, God, he's aged all of a sudden as well.
Oh, yeah.
But then when you think, how old are they now? They're all getting on, bless them. They're all in their twilight years.
It's like I was looking at, who was it? I was looking at some actor, and it was like, good God, he's 3 years older than Mum.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know it. I can't remember who it was now, though. Right, I've got to build wibbly wobbly bits with no points of connection. Excellent. Thanks, Games Workshop.
Oh, the wibbly wobbly bits.
Wibbly wobbly bits. Rick Moranis' wife died, so he left acting to bring up his kids.
Oh.
Now, there's some actor who was small and nerdy like Rick Moranis who died, and I can't think who it was. I'm probably just conflating him with someone else completely.
Oh, bless him. That's sad.
But I can tell my memory's starting to get a bit weird, you know. Because somebody mentioned in the 24/7 earlier about plushies.
Yeah.
And I was saying that I've only got 3 plushies, and one of them is the puffin, Guthorn.
Yeah, it was Aurora, by the way, that mentioned the part. Yeah.
Oh, cool. But and I said, yeah, I've got the puffin from that Scott Sutherland sent me, and I couldn't remember its name. And it's only literally just now that I remembered it's Guthorn.
Yeah, Guthorn. Yeah.
And I sat there for an hour thinking, what the hell is his name?
Because mine's Magnus. I only know that because on the front of his pork pie hat it says Magnus.
Yeah, I was just shocked that I had just no memory at all of what his name was. I'm like, wow, I'm starting to lose it now.
You're not alone, mate.
Yep, it's age. I've got the shonky knee. I'm getting the memory. How does this attach? It attaches like that. You see, okay. Actually, that's not such a bad connection, actually.
There you go. It's up in there.
Me. Have people gotten used to the idea have they sat down and still in shock that you're doing a gumpler yet, do you think?
Yeah, but they've seen me build one before, mate. I did Kshatriya, don't forget. You're making it sound like I've never built one, and I've actually built more than one.
Yeah, but it's an occasion. It's an event.
I did the GM Sniper.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And a Kshatriya,
good,
so
actually.
this isn't my first Gundam out, India.
Mm.
Bless you.
Is that going to go in? Oh, no.
So, yeah, I've done more than one. Not as many as you, obviously, because, yeah.
I think it's cool.
No, I just thought it would be something different. You know, I've got quite a lot of kits in the stub assemblies ready for primer stage, and the spray booth will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. And I could get all me bikes, me trucks, me tanks all primed and ready. Same with this. The F1 car, I can get that all primed. And then that'll get filmed, the painting for the Brabham, and the bikes will be filmed. But this I'll sit and brush paint, as well as all be Croblet. That's all going to get prepped and final readied. Excuse me, ready for brush paintery goodness, because I want to put it all on the shelf just on the left there. I've now managed to get all my project boxes stacked next to me.
Ooh.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them.
Ooh.
And the stack measures. I will get the tape measure out.
You get your yardstick.
Two 2'8"
Oof.
in height.
And you were a girl like that once.
So, yeah, there's quite a lot in there, and that's not counting the War Ammo, the Croblet Tiger that is sitting over there ready to be assembled. So,
oh yeah, I must get that sorted out.
So yeah, so we've got a fair old few things to do. But so we'll get.
I was saying to Festa earlier that I was thinking about getting back into the Gumplers because I've got kits I need to build, but I'm not going to be painting them anymore. I think I'll just build them for fun, just for the fun of building them. Because you can't go wrong with them building wise.
Yeah, I mean this will have some painty on it, but again I want to get it in and out stuff done so that I can work out where all my panel lines and stuff are going to be added, so I can sit with the instructions and draw them all out, as I was saying at the beginning there on the little blank sections there. I can use to put all the panel lines on there that I'm going to do, and then I can sit and lay them on and scribe them all out, because I have my scriber of Gundamness gadget, see, that I can scribe all my panel lines.
Right.
So, yeah. Sarah Jane has 38 models on the go, so you have some catching up to. Yeah, I'm coming out of the trying to have multiples on the go because it bit me in the backside too many times, but I've got a lot of them ready to prime. purely because I had a while where I couldn't do painty for other reasons, and yeah. But ideally, I'd like to have one of my kits on the go and one for e-models at any one time.
Yeah.
Because I find I'm forever moving kit boxes about, and
you just get a flow, don't you, going and...
yes. But yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and compete with Sarah Jane because I'd never win.
No. That's a very loose tenuous fit. I've done another dude.
I'm so proud of you.
He's called a Necrophoros.
Oh, that and all, is it? Okay.
Yeah, he's one of them. Not one of them. One of them.
Let's clean my sanders off a little bit scuzzy.
Clean your sanders. While you're cleaning your sanders, don't forget the old man.
Bit of that on there.
I've got a sword on him. Oh, that's a point. It's going to make things fall off, isn't it?
All the things are going to fall off, you know they are.
They're all kind of leaning forward, these dudes. It's really weird. They're all kind of as if they've just taken a step forward, but it's in that kind of like the bit before the human body decides not to fall over and corrects itself. It's really weird. Really weird.
Let's put that back in.
Mortec guard with the Soul Cleaver Great Blade.
Oh, nice. Long pin in that side.
They don't do simple names, these Mortisan nonsense dudes.
No.
Certainly never heard of Kiss, have they?
No, the Kiss mentality isn't out there, is it?
Not in the Mortisan garb with the echelon tithe nonsense thing. Shenanigans. Whatever. Dudes.
Perfect. Right, it's got one more to go in there. Good days. And that is number 8. Sarah Jane says it's my silly system, works well with my autism as well. Oh, yeah, if it works for you, go for it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I did it for a number of years, a few years back, because I was a lot more of a prolific builder back then, whereas now, with changes that have gone on, I kind of have had to change everything how I do it. So, and I'm still adapting to it, to be quite honest with you. You know, my build-up stage works for the live streams, sitting here gluing kits together live, because you can't fire up the airbrush or anything like that because you don't know whether it's too loud for people and all of that. So, and not only that, it's getting the angle right for the live stream. It's like,
the angle of dangle.
So,
it's quite tricky when you get the spray booth and stuff at it, because it's like getting the camera to look in a decent way.
It's exactly what I was just about to say, but I stupidly paused again, didn't I?
You pause for breath. You should learn by now.
Yeah, you think I'd learn by now, wouldn't you? Yeah. Right, so that's grillage done. One side, I'm happy with that. Let's have a little looky-loo at the chatlings and see what's happening. So everyone's saying hello to each other further up. Bobbins has gone to bed. PJ says, I charmed her earlier into making a molding cuppa, but Matron is now giving me time to sleep. Look, so I'll catch you all soon. Ciao, everyone. You take care, PJ, and keep your spirits up, mate. And we'll convene for a good old wibble, mate, when you get home.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in, buddy.
Thanks for coming in, mate. And, yeah, look after yourself, buddy. As we need our PJ.
Yeah. Think of all the hospital food he's getting to eat.
Think of all them episodes of Bluey you can watch on daytime telly.
Yeah. On that. Oh, yeah.
I'm actually going to fix
keep him well entertained.
I know they like to say you can have them moving, but Been that they've popped out a couple of times. I want to.
Are you going to do this as a GOC as a posable or a static pose, do you think?
Static.
Painting it. Yeah. Makes it much easier.
I mean, luckily with the design of it, it's not got exposed joints and things like that because of the way its legs are modular.
Yes.
You know, a bit like a centipede, you know what I mean? You've not got many exposed areas that are going to look naff if you have it visible, but I think once I've got a pose set up, yeah, it will be pretty much done.
Yeah.
Because I've got STL file, which is basically Gundam hangers. So you basically hook the Gundam on it and then you can attach it to a door or a wall and have the Gundam on the wall. That's what Kashatra is going to go on rather than a shelf.
Yeah.
So you can pretty much static pose them in a super dynamic pose.
Action posing.
So that's the plan. Whether or not that actually happens, who knows?
Plans are made to be adapted and changed.
Exactly. You know, this is me. I chop and change my mind like a good one, as you know. So,
Sarah Jane says, this weather helps as I can just pop out the door into the sunshine and spray when I want to, me being a rattle can user.
Yeah.
It is good. I must admit, when it comes down to summer, because I kind of fell out of love with the airbrush because it's just a lot of hassle and work. So when it comes round to summer now, you'll find if I've got anything to spray, I'll be like,
oh, yeah, straight outside with the rattle guns.
Yeah. How can I get out of using the airbrush here? I'll just use rattle can primers. It's like, what colour do I want to paint in this tank? I've got a spray can of this. I'll paint it that colour. There you go.
Yeah.
Finding ways to get out of using the airbrush because I just can't be bothered. That's why I wish the Games Workshop still did the Fang as spray cans because it's the perfect base colour for Deathcore Krieg, but they don't make the Fang in a spray can anymore. It's like, oh, just...
That's right.
Yeah, so I've got like 4 pots of the Fang Air. I'm just got to get the airbrush out. Mom, make me use the airbrush.
Yeah, so unfair. I hate you.
I hate you. I hate you, Bella.
Yeah.
God, I watched the pilot episode of that and it was just dismal.
Oh, isn't it?
It was just truly dismal. I'm like, how did this even ever become? Dear Lord, what were they thinking?
Yeah. Connor's got to head to bed. Enjoy the stream, everyone. You take care, Connor. Lovely to see you. Thanks for coming in and saying hello, mate. It means a lot.
Yep. I tell you what, they've done something genius with these Skelly Bob heads.
Oh, yeah.
They've all got like face plates, almost like a separate bony plate on their face. And the mould line down the middle is exactly where the faceplate goes, so you don't need to sand it off.
Oh, nice one.
It's like, yeah. Okay, I'll give you points for that one, GW.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
No, can't argue with that at all. That goes on there.
That's a point. You said Atoll. Anyone in the chat heard from Atoll at all? He seems to have dropped off the planet. Just wanted to, find out whether he's okay. Yeah, not seen him about much. So, yeah, if any of you know, just, let us know because we get used to seeing faces and people in the chat. And when you don't see someone for a little while, you can't help but think, are they okay? So,
yeah, it's a sign of being part of our age group, isn't it?
Yeah, but...
First thing you think is, oh, hello. Are they all right?
Well, no, you just might be a bit unwell or whatever, but yeah, just curious, that was all.
Yeah, I've not seen him around for a while.
Yeah. Oh, let's have a swig of tea.
Swig of tea. Oh, I didn't take that knob off, you spoon. Oh, nub remains. Failure.
Yeah. Sarah says that I was in chat on Ross's stream. That must just be me then. No worries. As long as I know he's all right, I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
Happy days. I can rest easy now.
Right. Stand down, Marine.
Yeah.
How are you getting on with NCIS New Orleans?
All right, mate. Done the first season so far, so
Ooh.
all right.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah, the characters really do blossom in the second series, and you start to get that NCIS group feel.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the first season.
Yeah, it started off very wooden.
Yeah.
But
it's because you're so used to the dynamic of Gibbs and team, aren't you? That you're like, yeah, but it's like, yeah, give them a chance, and they bloom nicely.
Yeah, but Gibbs left seasons ago, didn't he? So
yeah. But it's weird though, because he's still there. When you're watching New Orleans, he's still there.
Oh yes, so's Vance as well.
Yeah, he was in tonight's episode, and I'm like, oh, this is weird. The one I watched tonight, I'm like, this is really weird.
Yeah.
Jeff says that fall was about earlier.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, it must just be me. He's fell out of love with me. Doesn't love me anymore.
Well,
it's all right. I'm over it now.
A brief moment of something there. There was an attempt.
You know me. It's just as long as I know someone's all right, I'm happy.
Yeah,
that's all that matters to me. But it is late night, so you know what I mean. It's
right. I built a Mortec guard with the Soul Cleaver Great Blade. He's done.
Proud of you, soldier.
Barreling through these guys with their 3 parts. What's next? Oh, this guy doesn't even get a name. He's just a dude. Oh, man. Skeleton.
There you go. That's that done. So that's all the vents in. Happy days. Pleased with that. Oh, the vintage.
That single page there, that half page, is the entire instructions to build 17 dudes. That's it.
Proud of you, mate.
It's just, yeah, stick a shield on. Don't care which one. Stick a head on. Don't matter. Any arm. Do it. Just off you go.
Sarah Jane says, bet Fox hasn't missed me. I bet he has, really. It's nice.
I miss everybody.
It's nice to see you in, actually, Sarah
Jane.
It's been a while, bless you. I know.
It has indeed.
I know this show goes out late, but don't forget, folks, I am doing a Wednesday show soon. So that is starting on the first week of July. First week of the month will be the Warhammer Wednesday. And then for the rest of the month, it'll be a group session with me and some of the Zoom gang. So, yeah, be prepared, folks. Life as you knew it. Yeah. BYON, bring your own nonsense. So there is that started, and that will be going out at 9 p.m, folks. So a nice, reasonable time. Yep. So keep an eye out for that. Bring your own pants. 17 of these I've got to make. Oh, Lord. 6. I'm actually looking forward to painting these skeleton dudes, because bone's kind of easy to paint and quite good fun, because you get to do the base bone colours for like dry brushed, and then you can add like all your sepias and that. Yeah, and you can add all the grime and the green stains and the grimness. You can add all that on the top. Great fun. No, those, don't need those. Oh. Love you really, folks, although I was bribed to say that, says Sarah Jane. Hey, if it makes you a profit, mate, do it. Absolutely. Do anything for the money. Talking of which, if you want me to shut up, anybody, super chat, £1, 1 minute for £1. £1 a minute, free for £1. Free for £1. Free for £1. Do you know what's really funny? Poundland got sold today. Do you know how much they paid for it? £1. £1. It got sold for £1. That's so funny.
I mean, not for the people that work there, obviously. But
Yeah, normally an administrator's thing, isn't it? Is to sell a business for £1. 'Cause there's got to be a monetary transaction, hasn't there, for it to go through?
But of all the places to sell for £1.
I know. They should have gone 99p.
Yeah.
Just for the giggle, but
just for the shenanigans of it.
But it has to be £1, doesn't it? It's got to be, you know, a sum. It's just bizarre.
Give it away.
Bizarre quirk of British law, isn't it? But so this is gonna have detail extras on it.
Victor Borgia. That was the guy that played piano, the Austrian guy. Victor Borgia.
Oh, right, yeah.
The hilarious, dry humour piano playing dude. Very, very funny man. Anyway, what are you all working on out there, folks? What's on your bench right now? As well as belly and everything else. What's on your bench? Nobody said anything yet. So I'll pop a couple of them. What are you all working on?
Are there any kits that you cover? Have you done any purchases this month?
Yeah.
Have
you got anything on your wish list that you're saving up for? Because we've all got something that we're saving up for. What's your current saving up for target? Be it a model kit or anything else? I'm saving up for a synthesizer.
I'm saving up for a new motherboard because
Yep. Thanks, Windows.
Yeah, thanks for that, Microsoft. It's like, because, I'm lucky to have one of those unsupported motherboards that won't run the new variant. So I've got to look at upgrading, getting another motherboard in. As end of support is looming.
Loom.
Muchly annoying because how many decent working computers are going to end up going to landfill? Yeah,
because that's the frustrating thing for you is because your computer, it's old, but it does exactly what you need it to do. You don't particularly have a reason to upgrade it. You'd be quite happy carrying on with it, but
exactly.
You don't have a choice, have you?
It functions, but it's because it's my main rig, and my main rig, I want it to get all the security updates and all of that lot because this one's on the internet and all of that lot. So you kind of want it to be, safe. Put it that way.
I mean, my old PC, the only reason I upgraded mine, I didn't really want to because it was absolutely fine for my video editing and stuff, but it was struggling with streaming because and it was like. And its drives were old. I'm like, I need to get a new PC now. It had a few issues over the last few years. I'm like, it needs to want to.
Yeah, it is frustrating because, like I say, there's so many people in the same boat as me that have got perfectly usable rigs that are going to have to junk, just to run a new OS. I could make it a Linux rig. Mint rig or anything like that, but not all the stuff that I use for me streaming works well with Linux. So
that's the downside, isn't it? Is half the stuff you've got wouldn't even recognise Linux.
Exactly. So it's like all these slobs, OBS, Stream Deck and all of that lot works seamlessly on Windows, and I just don't want the faff. I just want to switch it on, stream, do me thing, and then the Apple is on my MacBook and my NAS box is Linux. So,
I didn't realise that the Steam Deck was Linux based.
Oh yeah.
You heard about the new, not actually Xbox handheld?
I've heard the rumours, but yeah.
Well, they're supposed to be designing their own handheld, but they've announced the other day the new ROG Ally X and a ROG Ally. They're doing a special ROG Ally Xbox version.
Spider-Pig,
So it's like a ROG Ally but with an Xbox button, but it's they've built basically a version of the Xbox app for the handheld, so that when you turn it on, it goes straight to that and not to Windows.
All right. We are graced by model making royalty, folks.
Oh,
Yes, we have our very own model making communities. Carl Sagan, who has put in a $10 super chat, thank you very kindly, has joined us. So have you got your quote?
Yes. Where skeptical observation and discussion are supported, the truth is hidden. The proponents of such borderline beliefs, when criticized, often point to geniuses of the past who were ridiculed, but the fact that some geniuses were laughed at does not imply that all who are laughed at are geniuses.
There you go.
I was actually started reading that and realised it was the wrong quote that I was going to read, so I had to carry on. I had a shorter one lined up. Oh, well. Then.
Oh, you can always give him a double quote. He's earned it.
I've closed it now.
The Earth is the shore of the cosmic ocean.
Yeah.
Recently, we've waded a little way out, and the water seems inviting. But it seems familiar to us. We've been this way before.
Oh, there you go.
That's one from memory. Might be slightly wrong, but it's from memory, so he gets 2.
There you go. It's always nice to see, Jeff.
So yeah, because the big problem with any non-Linux based handhelds, basically that aren't Steam Deck, is that they run on Windows, and Windows is absolute garbage for handheld gaming.
Yeah.
So they're hoping that this new setup, they've managed to just get rid of a lot of unnecessary Windows stuff, and just have this slick down version of Windows that runs in the background.
Well, we all remember Windows PE. Oh, yes, what a lovely piece of software that was.
Windows Pants Edition. Windows Vista. Ooh.
Windows 2000, or Windows ME as it was called back then.
God, see, in terms of home computers, I went from Windows 3.1 to Windows 95, and then to Windows X. I was on XP. What year was XP? Was that 1999, 2000 or something?
No, it was after
Late
ME,
90s.
wasn't it?
Was it?
I think.
Yeah, because it was Millennium Edition, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I remember having Windows 95, and then I went straight to Windows XP at home for years, and I only gave up XP, I think, for Windows 7.
I loved Windows 7, but then I liked the tiles on Windows 10.
Yeah.
I love the start menu tiles, and I wish Windows 11 would revert to it. I know they've just done an upgrade on Windows 11, and they're beginning to try to unify the desktop, but I do like the Windows tiles.
Yeah, because they came in about the same as the Xbox dashboard that looks like that, didn't it? It was about the same time.
Windows 8, wasn't it? Brought them out.
Yeah, Windows, the new Win XP.
But,
Yes, I used to love Windows XP. I thought it was great. When I went from 95 to XP, and I had XP for about 10 years, 10, 11. I really didn't want to change. And then when I had 7, because at this point, my friend Martin was making my computers.
yes.
He's like, I need to upgrade you to Windows 10. I'm like, I like 7. I like 7. I was clever enough not to get Windows 8.
Yeah.
I'm not that stupid. And in the end, I relented, and I got a new PC from Windows 10. I'm like, then I fell in love with that. I'm like, it's great, this.
Yeah.
And then I got Windows 11.
Yeah, it's like...
It does its job, I suppose. I've got used to it now, but...
Yeah, I've been doing anything and everything to avoid Windows 11.
Yeah,
and
you've been looking at it like it's got the clap, haven't you? You're like, no, I don't want to touch that.
Yeah, it's like, kind of... Yeah, this is, don't forget, the company that said Windows 10 is the last version of Windows we're going to release.
Apart from the next one.
Yeah, and then it's, we're not selling enough computers. How can we convince everyone that they need to buy a new computer?
Yeah, no one's upgrading their computers. Let's make them.
Yeah, I know there's a registry hack that you could use, but they are going to patch it, and then eventually you won't get your updates again, so...
No. The thing is, it's like, there's some people will do that and they'll patch it and hack it around it and not want to upgrade. It's like, yeah, but then you're exposed because you're not getting the security updates. And it's like, would you rather have Windows 10, which was a great system, a great OS, or would you rather have whatever's next, but it's actually secure? I think even though I don't like Windows 11, I'd rather have, you and me would rather have the security than the convenience of a better system.
Yeah, I mean, if push comes to shove, I'll pay me $30 for an extra year, but I just don't want to pay $30 for security features on a product that I've already purchased.
Yeah.
I just think it's taken the mick.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but,
Yeah. Jeff is saying hello to everybody in his Carl Sagan voice, like the announcer from the traffic news.
For you, mate.
WKBD in Cincinnati, or wherever Jeff is from. I don't know where Jeff's from.
Texas.
WLPD in Texas. Radio traffic news. I'll stop now.
He would have the world's best radio announcer's voice, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah.
Welcome to WKYBZ, Texas.
Do you know who I think of when I hear Jeff? Do you remember that story about the homeless guy? He'd stand on the median between on the interstate or on one of the main roads wherever he came from.
Yeah.
And he had a sign up saying, I want to work. Give me a job. Give me a job. And somebody was talking to him and filmed him, and he had this amazing voice, this deep voice. And he got hired by the radio station to do voice work and be a host.
See, the guy that gave the big makeover to and all of that lot.
Yeah. But he had this amazing deep hello, I'm a radio announcer. And he was like, how is this guy not working in radio or TV? Yeah. And he wasn't. He was just looking for a building work or something or whatever it was. And then he got offered a job and he was no longer homeless. I
love a good-natured story like that. Yeah, it just makes you feel good about the world, doesn't it? Because... as we know, there's a lot of silliness that goes on in the world, and every now and then you get a good vibe, good feeling story like that, and it's like...
Yeah, it's nice to know that some people are actually decent people.
Yeah.
I think the guy that filmed him he regularly went past him and, gave him some money and stuff, and he spoke to him a few times and was like, this guy's got the most amazing voice, I need to film him.
Yeah.
He wanted that voice to get out there. How is that going on there? That is going on there like that, you'll see. Like that. I see.
You do like the feel-good factor.
Mm-hmm. Get on. Not so keen when they hold the shields right against the chest because it's an absolute bugger to paint inside the shield.
Yeah, trying to get that detailed up.
Yeah, I always try and have it so they're holding the shield out a bit, but some of these just lock into place, and I'm like, oh. But Mum. I don't even know why I'm looking at the instructions. Bill says, LWM says, I worked for WJLI Rock 98 FM reading the news for the breakfast show. I had to Englishify everything so the Yanks could understand it. This is WJLI Rock 98 FM.
Yeah, I found that when I was over in New York. You'd go into a deli and you'd go in to order your food, and the accent fascinated them. So you would end up with getting random things that they wanted you to say off the menu, and they'd be bowling about laughing because they was just transfixed by my accent,
Yeah, my brother got that when he moved over. It's just he said it gets you in so many places. Opens so many doors.
Are you a cockney? It's like,
Cockney.
Yeah. Say something. Well, can I have ham roll, mate? You know what I mean? But it was just, they was nice about it and all of that, know, but it was great. And we went in there every day, me and the missus, and every day there was an additional family member. This is the cockney that we've been telling you about. They loved it, and they was quite sad when we was coming home because it was fun for them,
Did you at any point sing Chim Chimney, Chim Chim Chiroo?
Yeah, I might have mentioned that Dick Van Dyke destroyed the entire reputation of Cockneys.
Yep.
But yeah, I might have done the old spoon bit for them, and get back to the house and life. But yeah, it was great. I loved it because they're very hospitable people. No one does hospitality like the Americans, do they? Let's be honest. The whole have a nice day thing, but they're all very, very positive when you go in a shop, no matter what shop it is. Service out there, even if it's a diner on the side of an interstate, the girl walks around with a coffee, she's always bubbly, smiling. And you walk into a shop in the UK and go to a till, it's like, what do you want? I suppose you want to buy that, do you? Whereas in America, you don't get that. Everyone's buoyant. I love that. Well, certainly everyone I've come across that served me in America has been hospitable. They might have the odd one that's a bit ropey, but I've never seen it myself.
They were always miles ahead of us in the service industry for things like customer service.
Oh, yeah.
So much so that every time when I was, getting into customer service jobs back in the day, they were always like extolling the American way of doing it and, how Americans treat customers and things.
Yeah, a friend of mine works for Apple.
Yeah.
And he was saying, their hospitality and how they do things, it's an education, it really is, because it opens your eyes. The American way of doing things is so different. And I like that, because when you go into a shop, it's not that you want everyone to be licking your boots and overdoing it, but it's nice to see a friendly smile, isn't it? And
yeah, at the end of the day, you want to feel like the most important customer, even though you're the 30th person they've dealt with.
They've got such a vibrant, sparkling way of dealing with hospitality that we could learn so much from that. Because I don't like going into retail outlets in the UK because of that. Yeah. Because, I suppose you want to do it. Well, don't sound too effing keen, you know what I mean?
No, you've been to HMV then.
Yeah, you want to take me money, at least show a little bit of interest, right? They might have just had the world's worst customer. I don't know that. But it ain't my fault.
Nope.
And the UK is very far behind in that, I think.
Yeah.
And I think we could learn a lot from the Americans, I really do. We've had a few of their companies over here that have opened in the UK and have come across that same problem where they're trying to train staff and they're like, it's difficult to get that mindset away from it. But Apple seems to have succeeded. I'm trying to think of the other American company that's over here. What is it, Walmart?
Walmart and Asda, but they've got I think we actually have Walmart stores as well, don't we?
I'm sure we've got one here.
Yeah.
So we've got a few of those, and we've got a couple of DIY outlets, haven't we, that are popping up.
Microsoft have a lot of bases in Ireland.
This makes a difference, I think.
Although I can't say that I miss my 30 years in the customer service industry. I utterly don't miss it at all.
I mean, if you go to Texas and say you want a rack of ribs, you get like half a buffalo come out, you know what I mean? The portion size is fascinated me.
Do you want fries with that? Where?
I can remember being in a restaurant and there was this girl that was there. I say girl, she was 22, 23-year-old woman. But she was such a slender thing, and they brought her out this huge plate of, half an herb intrude and all the trimmings. And you sat there and you thought, there is no way that she is going to knock that lot back. She did.
So then she knocked it all back.
My missus was like, that woman needs a gold medal. So fair play to her.
I always thought I excel at the challenge of eating these ridiculously big meals that you have as challenges in restaurants. Unfortunately, by the time they sort of became a thing over here, I was too old that I couldn't do it anymore.
Well, I watch a program, and it's an American guy that goes around in the States, and he does it in the UK as well. Man v Food.
Man versus Food, yeah.
And he had a burger and whatever with it, and I've never seen a burger that big. I was amazed. And he polishes this stuff off, and it's like, we got a restaurant up north, haven't we, that does that big cut of beef, which is basically across the whole rear of the cow, isn't it? It's pretty much a pair of butt cheeks type thing. It's massive meal. And if you could polish it off, I think it's 150 odd quid's worth of steak and all of that lot. They
Yeah.
give you it for free plus whatever else they throw on top of it.
Yeah.
And I think only
know
4
nobody's gonna-
people have done it, haven't they?
I think so, yeah. I think they know that most people aren't going to get anywhere. It's worth the reputational boost and the extra custom.
Yeah. But that's
Good
the
way to sell
nearest we
150
get
quid
to
meal.
it.
Yeah. It's like, how can we sell 150 quid of the food? Well,
Yeah.
funny you should ask about that.
Yeah, when I worked for Sarah Jane says I worked for an American, they tried to get us to work there, but it didn't go well. They called a psychiatrist from the US to. But yeah, I worked for Go, and in the end, I was like, yeah, it's a great admin job in the warehouse if you want it because you're pretty proficient with the computers. It was like, yeah, we need to keep you away from the customers because
Yeah,
I had
you need
one
to not be
bloke
customer
walk
facing.
in. What's the difference between this rucksack and this one? I said, that one's red, that one's blue. He asked the question and I gave him the answer. But
Yeah.
where's the footwear department? See that big sign that says footwear? Clues in the name.
Yeah.
They don't do irony retail in the UK, and I'm one of them people that just. So it's like, yeah.
I do remember once when I used to work for 9X, when 9X was still over here in the early days of cable TV. And they were obviously trying to be an American company. They were trying to continue their ethos.
Yeah.
And we were doing all right because it was, customer service, teleservice was like, it was new in the UK at that time, anyway, early 90s.
Yeah.
Cable TV was new. So, but they had this consultant come over once at great expense, I have to say.
Yeah.
And the consultancy team was 2 people. A woman that sat there giving you neck massages while you're on the phone, just wandered around the office giving neck massages, which was great. That's fine with that bit. And then this other man would basically do little talks. And one of his things that he tried to get us to do the most often was just to get us, he said, stand up when you take a call because it's empowering.
Yeah.
And, here's all us people in the office, all northern monkeys going,
Yeah.
what a plonker. What an absolute plonker. So a few of us tried it. It's like, bloke's a nutter. Shut up. Stand it up when you take the call. How much are you paying you? I think eventually they just accepted that they'd get northern friendliness, but they wouldn't get us standing up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all these little group huddle things that they're fond of. It's like, it's not the British way, is it? We're not like that, and it's,
That's not how this is going to play
your
out.
little morning briefings and, let's have a little huddle and give everyone a little clap for selling I don't know, pair of shoes. It's like, yeah, that's not our way,
60
is
feedback
it?
forms.
But, yeah.
Such nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like that.
What's chat doing? La. Space Rangers Recording Studio is in, says hi.
Hi, Space Rangers, how are you?
I think he did. It's gone up at the top of the screen now, so I assume he said hello at some point. Bill says, Ken Herron is a YouTube friend from my drone days when they needed an English person for news. He asked me to do it. Jeff says, Sarah Jane, don't ever change a bit. I was just saying they tried to get us to change and it didn't work. I worked for Brown Brothers, DANA, in the top 25 biggest companies in the world at the time, says Sarah Jane.
Yeah.
The things I did and got away with, I'll never know. Panzer says, irony and sarcasm definitely goes over the heads of most British shoppers.
Yeah.
British? No, we get irony. Sarcasm.
Certainly does.
Yeah. Bill says, I was quite lucky. I went places and did a lot of things before I got sick, so I never missed out on much.
Yeah, we're not particularly good at that sort of thing, us Brits.
Yeah. We excel at sarcasm, though. I mean, that's a natural talent.
Oh,
That's a cultural talent, that is, for an entire race in Britain. national pastime.
And although I'm putting all of this together, it will be coming back apart. It's excuse me, it's only been push fitted at the moment. Just gives me a chance. Right, just gives me a chance to see where I might want to put LEDs and things like that.
Is it a fun build so far?
Yeah, it's all right. You know, it's just pushed together, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's nothing complicated about it.
No, but it can be. Some of them can be really unsatisfying to build. The Destiny Gundam is absolute chore.
Yeah, it's got its torso and part of its canister on, and it's like, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, I'd never recommend the Destiny Gundam to anybody. Just don't get that one. It's horrible to build.
Is it one of those show us on the dolly where the horrible Gundam hurt you?
I don't know what it was about the kit, but it's just like, it just wasn't fun to build, and it wasn't fantastically well engineered. That it was a bit shonky and wobbly and didn't really, it's got the hips were too weak for the legs, so they just go flop and you couldn't pose it. And all the backpack stuff was unsatisfying to build, and the way the nubs on them were, all of it was just unsatisfying to build.
Yes, don't hold back there, mate. Yeah.
Well, I only ever built one as a commission, and I hated every minute of it. I'm like, I wasn't happy with how it came out, and then the end of it, the guy bailed anyway. So
yeah, it's that word, commission.
Yeah,
always sounds good when people go, "Oh, I got a commission build." It's like, yeah, you wait until you get a kit that you don't want to build in a way that you hate, and you've got to put every bit of TLC. That's why those of us that used to do it, all ended up going, "Yeah, I've got to stop doing them now."
Yeah, imagine if you're PJ and somebody commissions you to build a Bluey car. You're not going to enjoy that, are you?
Exactly.
Be his worst nightmare.
You kept getting submarines, didn't you? I kept getting buses and cats, didn't I? And it's like,
and it's like, I kept getting submarines. It's like, you do a U-boat again. I've just do that U-boat you've done twice already. And I kept getting Gunpla ones, but they were all the really crappy Gunpla kits that you don't want to build.
Yeah.
They weren't the interesting ones. They were like the ones that were being really hard to paint and then a nightmare to ship.
Yeah. And you get someone, you'd say to them, "What paint scheme do you want?" And they would reel off this paint scheme. You're like,
yeah, that's not happening.
Okay. Yeah.
For some reason as well, I don't know why, I kept getting people wanting me to make display aircraft models. Like you get like the CEO of a company.
Yes.
And he has like a display model of a Learjet on his desk. And it's just, it's like an industry model. It's just flat and it's got all the windows and decals and stuff. And they want one of them. And I'm like, what part of my entire profile content and internet and YouTube presence says that I make anything like that?
Well, you can remember when I kept having to do the civil aircraft ones, the A380s and that. And it's like, guess what I'm building, Fox? What's that? I'm doing another A380. Oh, really? What livery? What's the last two I've done? No. Yeah.
Appliance white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd become our little in-joke with each other, wouldn't it? It's like, oh, you got a commission there, Cole. What you got? A380. Damn it.
I was like, you're keeping B&Q in business with their standard home base, in business with their cans of appliance white.
Well, I got to the point I was buying appliance white by the case.
Yeah, and you walk and they'd be like, appliance white? Yeah, that's the one, thanks.
Yeah.
We'll put one aside for you. Get a text message from home base. We've got some in. Do you want some?
They got to the point, if you hadn't been in for a while, they'd go, you ill? You've not been in for your paint for a while. We've had it sat on the side. It's like, stop doing them now.
That's like me with my local Hobbycraft. I'd walk in and they'd be like, you're going to take all the matte varnish again, aren't you? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
To the point where I'd go in for something else. We've got some more matte varnish. I'll be taking all that then.
A bit like KA.Models. I'm ordering all of the Starship filth.
Oh, yeah. As much as I can get my grubby little... And then I stopped using it.
It is funny how it was the go-to thing for a season, and then everyone was like, yeah, not doing that now.
Yeah, I think it was right until, like, Ammo and AK came out with all their enamel washes, which are a billion times easier. I'm like, yeah, I'm not using oil paints again now for that.
Yeah.
When I can do this and it dries much faster. Thank you very much. 20 minutes, by the way.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye, mate.
Good man. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's weird how, you start to do something and you think to yourself, right, this is it. I've learned this technique. It's brilliant. And then, like, a few years later, you'll look back and you'll be like, I haven't done that in years.
It's always been the thing with the community. There's trends and fads that come and go, and that was one of them, wasn't it? The whole gunk wash thing, And
I thought I invented that, and I totally didn't.
Yeah, but in your mind, you've invented everything from sprue goo to starship filth to being
I didn't invent
the only man in the world that's ever built a Gundam. So
no, I didn't. I totally stole most of my ideas. Even sprue goo, I totally stole that from somebody.
Yeah, I know.
But I honestly thought I'd sort of done that with that because I'd never seen anybody do it, and I just thought, what if I just thin it and rub it off? And it's like, oh, that'd be brilliant. I thought I'd invented it, and it was like, no, you're not. Okay.
Yeah, so bless you.
I came up with it by myself, but I didn't invent it. So I was at least slightly proud that I've got.
In your world, you invented it.
Well, I figured it out by myself. Let's put it that way. It's probably better.
Exactly. So
I haven't got there.
I will happily sit here and go, it was all your idea, mate, because I know deep down your toes are curling up and you're going, oh, I knew it was all along.
No. So it wasn't long afterwards I realised I saw Adam Savage doing it and then heard a load of other people talking about it.
What I remember first seeing do it was Adam Savage. Because,
I'd never seen it. And then I watched some antique guy making an old bronze thing and he was aging that. And I was like, okay, I really didn't invent that then. Did my chat's gone? Where's my chat gone?
That's my only claim to fame is that Adam Savage was born July the 15th, 1967, along with me. So, yeah, that is my claim to fame and I'm keeping it.
Panzer says, yes, I remember the great Starship filth shortage. 3 years it took me to get a tube.
Yeah.
The irony is now that the one you buy now is actually terrible. It's not the same. It's not the same colour.
I got the Oilers as well, Starship Base Sludge. That is a good one, actually, the Starship Base Sludge.
Because they did do a Starship filth one for all, but it wasn't the same as the actual tube.
That wasn't the same, no.
Yeah. Right, I've put the shields on these dudes. I want to start swords.
Yeah. How many of us have got a wooden drawer full up with Starship filth? And
yeah, I have. Actually, the thing is, I've got one tube left in my oil paint tray that's drying out, and I can't remember where I put any of the others.
I got the point. People will message me going, "Have you got a spare tube still?" And I go, "Yeah, no worries." Can I buy it off you? Oh, yeah, I've got enough.
I've literally got a whole mess of Starship filth paint tubes, and I don't know where they are. People would kill me to, they'd be like, how?
I once had someone go, who was the tit that bought it all? That'll be model making guru at geocities.com. Yeah.
Yes.
We went through a stage. If you can't get it, blame Helgan35 at geocities.
Geocities.com. It's so funny when you go on the web and see an old GeoCities-like website still around nowadays.
Yeah.
I went on some website the other day. I can't remember what it was now. It was a serious website, but it looked like something from 1998, proper like Starfield background, yellow text you can't quite read. And I'm like, this is a serious website? What?
Yeah.
How do you even remotely expect me to take anything you say seriously?
They'll be getting painted as well up under there because we can't leave them. Can't leave them naked.
Are you enjoying your buildy gumpler buildy?
Yeah, I'm just thinking that. I'm wondering.
Oh, he's having thoughts, folks.
Yeah, I need to check. Let's just have a look.
You're having Festa thoughts, aren't you?
I am, mate.
I like it when you have those far too big Festa thoughts.
Just need to check something.
I was going to give these. I've got a choice between swords and spears, and frankly, getting the seam lines off spears is a ball ache, so they're all having swords.
No, that's the big ones.
Yes, dinner tonight for me, bench and belly for me, because I've not done one, was McDonald's, because Mum wanted it, and bench at the minute is nothing apart from this. So, but I've been playing my way through Stalker 2. I'm enjoying it thoroughly still. But I've modded it to be a game that I enjoy playing, because I don't think I'll actually enjoy it. I wasn't actually enjoying the base game as it's designed.
Yeah.
Because it's not my kind of game in a lot of ways. It's too stressful. I'm playing it more like a Far Cry than a survival horror, and I'm loving it.
That's
1,
those
2,
ones.
3, 4, 5, 6.
They'd have little baby ones. Where the hell did I put them?
11.
I might have put them all with Insane Blade. So I was looking for my micro servo motors that I've got. I can't find them.
Your what, sorry? Your micro what?
My micro stepper motors.
Oh, right.
The ones that Jeff adores.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to put them on the Baneblade, weren't you?
Yeah, I've got a feeling that that's where the packet is, in the Baneblade.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that you had them in there because you were doing the little side turrets, weren't you?
Yeah, the little sponsors, but I was wondering whether I could shoe on one in there and have the propellers spinning, you know.
Oh, I'd be interested. Hello, there's a helicopter coming past.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's the bolus. Hide your stash.
Let's just put that up there, take that off of there. See whether I've got them in one of my...
Knock, knock, knock. Open up, it's the filth.
electronics stuff.
We had a Chinook flyover again today for some reason. It was the loudest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, we got the RAF base over the way there that's been doing a lot of that.
We don't get them very often because we're not near anywhere.
Because obviously, how can we say, global events at the moment are making everyone twitching.
Yeah.
Pardon me. I'll hunt them down and find them, I think, because,
You're intrigued now, aren't you?
Yeah, they can't be far away, but I'm convinced that I'll get a shoe on.
Yeah. Once you've had a Festa thought, it can't be denied. It has to be followed to completion.
Yeah, but it's just frustrating when you know you've bought stuff.
Yeah.
And it's here, but you're not quite sure where. This is why I need to organise all my electronic stuff into one dedicated space, because I have stuff in different tubs and boxes.
I actually had the same today because I was running out of little bits of, washi tape that I use instead of Tamiya tape.
Yeah.
And I know I've got like a pack of 10 rolls of it somewhere and I can't find it, so I'm going to have to buy more washi tape. It's like, I've got like 10 rolls of it somewhere. But I cleared out the box where it's supposed to be and it's not there. I'm like, oh, fudge.
That's a bit like Milliput, isn't it?
Yeah. You don't... yeah. Well, I tried buying some Milliput once, but some idiot bought it all.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? I wonder who that was.
Who was that? Yeah, I did the Starship Filth, Festa did the Milliput.
Yeah.
The great Milliput shortage.
It's the standard joke, isn't it?
Yeah. Then again, then I did it with the coffee stirrers, and I bought 5 billion of them.
Oh yeah.
Have you used 500 of your coffee stirrers yet?
They're going to be getting used in my E-Models build, aren't they?
Ooh.
One that you don't know about.
I still don't know what that is.
But yeah, we still starting that Monday.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
You up for it?
Mm-hmm. I'm up for it.
Okay, I'll put the link and everything up then, and
Yes.
we'll start the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Because why not? But yeah, I reckon I could shoe on one of them in there, but
I think you could. I don't think there's anything you couldn't do, but
yeah.
you should definitely give it a go.
I did like a 1/12 motorcycle for a commission, didn't I? It was like,
yeah. I can't remember with the Zagok if they don't build it. A lot of those old master grade kits, they build them so you could technically light the eyes or eye up. They don't give you the option, but they do it in such a way that you could do it.
Yeah, you still got to drill things and all of that lot to get it to go in, but the potential's there, put it that way.
Yeah, because they do sell like light kits, and they know that people will custom their gumpler to put them in. So I think they always sort of give you a bit of a light channel with the clear parts if you light it up. If you want to light up the mono eye in that one.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the better grades of these that have got so much more detail, but the way I look at it is, I can pretty much chop this and carve this to look similar. So,
well, that's master grade.
Edward Leonard is it? Squish yellow. Hello, Edward. Lovely to see you. He says squishy hugs all round. I hope you're doing all right. Cheers. Lovely to see you. I hope you're keeping well. And so is Mrs. Edward. I hope she's keeping well.
Yes. Yeah, that's a master grade. That's as good as it gets, apart from perfect grade. So
Yeah.
you're doing fine there with the good qualityness. That is the shame about the perfect grade, is not just that they're expensive, because they are, but they've only got about 10 of them. They've only ever done about 10 different perfect grade kits. They're so few and far between.
I think that's because of the price point, wasn't it? People, they just weren't selling, were they? Let's be honest.
Well, they keep them as a special kind of thing, don't they?
Yeah, it's a bit like the Forge world or the Gundam community, isn't it?
Yeah. And the thing with Japan is as well that...
Did I just do a Gundam fact?
You did a Gundam and a Forge World fact in the same fact.
Damn it.
You might need to sit down for a bit. But the other thing with Japan as well is, of course, that their culture is one of not massive things, which is why it's very rare for them to do big model kits, because the Japanese consumer doesn't want a big... They live in a tiny little apartment. They need small kits. That's why HG144 kits are so popular, because they're small. So perfect grade are kind of few and far between. I had a perfect grade strike with the Sky Grasper. I never got around to making it. In the end, I sold it to Tony McPony. I used to open the box and look at it and go, oh.
Yeah, he liked a bit of Gundam, didn't he, Tony?
Yeah. Oops. I sent him a happy birthday for his birthday the other week.
Yeah, bless him.
Seems to be doing all right.
Tony's Tony.
All right, Tony is the one and only. The one and only Tony
A
Pony.
legend, absolute legend.
Yep.
Couldn't make
Legend.
a nicer bloke.
A legend on his own lap tray.
I never forget Pete's reaction when he had to deal with myself, Fox, and Tony at the E-Model shop at the same time. He aged visibly, didn't he, Pete?
Mm-hmm. See, Tony's the kind of person that I could see actually having in his kitchen one of those plastic trays from Little Chef that has the history of Little Chef embossed into it.
Yeah.
You know, like he's nicked it or something. I could see him doing that. Be.
Yeah, we caused utter chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Kept telling all the customers that come in that everything in the shop was free that day. Pete's like, please don't keep doing that. Please don't keep doing it.
Yeah, come in, sir. Just give me a letter and a number and I'll go and find that shelf and you can have whatever that is.
Yeah. Yeah, if you make a cup of tea, you get a free Dora. Pete's like,
Twitch.
This is Pete. It's like, you're going to give him a heart attack in a minute.
I swear at one point he was telling the customer that they were starting a dating service or something.
Yeah.
Did you heard about a new dating service? What?
Yeah. Got an OnlyFans as well.
Mm-hmm. I've not seen Tony in a long time.
Yeah. He sent me a lovely message, didn't he, when I did the Rossi bikes? So nice, bless him. I was blown away. Yeah.
He never did get an E-Models mug after all.
Oh.
Bless him. He never got one of them. At one point he appeared in an E-Models video just with a white mug with an E-Models logo, just sticker stuck on it.
Do you remember all the gaffer tape round the handle?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember him trying to do green screen stuff, he said, because my kitchen wall is just the perfect green screen chroma key green.
Yeah. Tony was one of those. He'd walk into a shop, look at a glass display shelf, and the whole lot would collapse in front of him. He was just got that about him, didn't he?
Yep.
You know, don't push the button, Tony. Which one? Yeah, that one.
Yep. He'd press something and go, tink, door.
But it'd be like, yeah, that went well for you.
Yeah. Epic fail. Nicest guy you'll ever meet, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Total nut job. In the best possible way.
Thing is, he knows it as well.
Mm-hmm.
He's like us. He tried adulting once, got bored after 10 minutes. It's like,
Yeah, and the dental plan wasn't. Jeff says he never got an E-Models mug. Even I have an E-Models mug. And glad to hear that Tony Helgen 3.5 is doing well. Yes.
Yeah, he's doing fine.
Mm-hmm.
Living the dream, bless him.
Mm. It used to amuse me. People would say, it's Helgen 35. It'd be like, no, it's Helgen 3.5. That was his call sign.
Yes, call sign. Yep. Back from his army days.
Yep. Don't give me name, Pike.
He has a lovable gullibility about him, Tony, and you could send him on a wild Google ride quite easily, couldn't we? And it's like, yeah, it's just on the internet, Tony. That's it. Off he'd go. It's like, that's Tony occupied for at least an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And then he'd come back and go, yeah, you can go off people, you know.
The most amazing thing was, I remember as well at one point, I did a post about Tony at some point for something, I can't remember what. But I actually put a picture of John Llewellyn, the actor, in there. Nobody spotted it because in the picture, John Llewellyn looked exactly like... Robert Llewellyn. Why did I say John Llewellyn?
I've got no idea, but you did it last time you had this story.
Did I?
Yeah.
But nobody recognised it. They all thought it was Tony.
Yeah, Crichton. Yeah.
Looked exactly like him.
Yeah, good old John Llewellyn. Nice bloke, and he...
Why was I saying John Llewellyn?
I don't know.
Where did I get that from?
I don't know.
It's PJ's fault. Give me the wrong information. Panzer says, okay, folks, time for me to get back to work. Have a great weekend.
You take care, Panzer, mate.
Yep.
Mind how you go, mate. Nice to see you in, fella. Hope you keep him well.
All right, be safe, be good. Be good, and if you can't be good, charge.
Get rid of that as well. This is going to have additional hatches made as well. So.
Hatches? We don't need those stinking hatches anymore.
It's like anything. You get one built and you can look at it and you can say, okay, it could do with this, this, this and this. And then, well, you know, having done so many of these, you do your inner frame and then all your outer panels get added to it. And the only annoying part is you could end up with really nasty joins, and it's like, yeah, no, I'm not having that.
Yeah.
So they'll all end up getting de-seamed, and then I'll add my own panels over the top of them as well, just to do additional blendage, because...
Yeah, they're often very good about making the seam lines and gaps line up with panel lines, but not always, you know. Sometimes you have to think, yeah.
You know what I'm like, seeing seams down the middle of things? It drives me absolutely nuts.
Well, it's in some of the older stuff. It's actually so frustrating when you get like two pieces of leg armor that go around a joint.
Yes,
you want to seal them, but you can't because you need to do the joint first. So it became accepted practice to actually make a C joint by cutting some of the joint apart, so you can slot the things together later after gluing them all. Yeah, it's like, I think it was called a C joint. They called that.
Oh yeah, you should trim some of the fittings down just to make it easier to pop on and off.
Yeah, well, I used to have like a ring with a thing that went through it, but you just cut the bottom off so you could just pop it in like that.
Yeah, I mean, I went the other option with the GM Sniper. I'd done a full-blown decal body wrap.
You did?
And once everything was put on, I did a digital camo body wrap because I did it as a humanoid size, even though I know it's a 60-foot tall mobile suit. I did it as if it was a real-life soldier wearing futuristic urban camo. So,
and it looked awesome.
So, yeah.
It
seemed a good idea at the time. Let's wrap every single panel of this Gundam in this digital camo decal wrap, and it's like,
it seemed like a good idea.
Yeah, by the 20th panel, it's like, I'm getting bored with this now.
Yeah, it was a great idea, and then you had to do it, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it was something different, wasn't
it? Yeah. Yeah, it's like when I did George's Cesar, I decided to make that not actual, just like normal human big robot size rather than just Gunpla, because it's like you can do what you want with Gunpla. Do it how you want.
It's the thing, they give you all this beautiful detail inside.
Mm.
Then you cover it up.
Yeah.
It's like, why? But what that lends itself to is cutouts that'll expose some of this. So.
Well, they know that because they know that the Japanese market is nuts enough to do all that. So they cater to it. They're like, you know what? We're going to give you all this stuff
level
inside.
Japan, isn't it?
Yep. I saw a guy that was doing a Zaku. And if those that don't know, the Zaku have on the head, they have like 2 pipes that go from the side of the head round to the front. And they've got this like ribbed structure, but it's made of little beads that you line up on the wire, and they all slot together to make this like tube. And I just call them Zaku beads.
Yeah.
And there's like about 40 or 50 on this one particular Zaku kit he was making, and he wanted to sand them. They're just tiny little like cylinders, like that big. And he wanted to sand them, so instead of just holding it and sanding it, he basically built a little thing on a drill bit. It was just the right size that he could jam it on the end, and then rotate the drill bit slowly enough and just have a piece of sandpaper against it so you could like that. And he did this for every single one. It's like, oh dear Lord.
Well, it's like that Kshatriya where I added all the cutouts for the wings and then additional panels, bolt heads and all of that lot. It was great doing the first one, and then you sit there and think, I've got another 3 of these to do now.
Yeah.
So
You got classic Gunpla weapon fatigue, but not with weapons.
Yeah, but it's still going to embellish the kit and turn it into something that it wasn't. So
yeah,
it's worth it. But yeah, it's like filming wise. Yeah, you film one, you don't have to film the next 3 because it's just repetitive, isn't it? It's like
that is the only downside with the more complex perfect grades and the master grades sometimes as well, is that with all Gunpla it's always 2 arms, 2 legs, a torso and a head and a backpack. That's pretty much how it works. But, if you've got an exceptionally complicated arm that you've just built, then you've got to build the next one. Then you do the same with the leg and you've got to build the knee. Because there's so much repetition, it can get quite frustrating and you have to fight through that.
Yeah, Robocop part work fingers springs to mind.
Ooh.
It's like, 2 pieces to every single finger. It's like, yeah.
Well, I built the full armor Unicorn Gundam Master Grade, which has like 1 billion weapons. And by the time I finished building the Unicorn Gundam, which is exceptionally fiddly and complicated but great fun, I'd lost the will to live. I'm like, I just got weapon fatigue. I was like, I can't build like 100 different rifles. I'm just going to fall asleep. So I'd had to pause for a bit, and then I just gave up.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to do one of the top end ones. Don't get me wrong, but it was the price point. It was.
Yeah.
It was just so expensive. I can remember telling you the one I saw with the big jet rocket packs and that, and I thought lighting it and motorising it would be so cool. Because I would have put a Raspberry Pi Nano in there and had all the covers move and everything. You know what I mean? Have it do its own pose and stuff. And then I looked at the price and then the investment of putting all the Pi in it, and I'm like, serious money, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which one it was that you were looking at. I can't remember now.
I remember sending you a picture of it, wasn't it? And it was
I can't remember if it was the full burn or if it was the...
Quite exotic.
It might have been the ashtray, the red and white one. I can't remember now.
But it was like, I'm thinking of doing this, and you was like, oh, I've gone mildly moist, and it's like,
I may have a bit of a tent going on. Because it was more just not that the fact you were looking at a perfect grade, but the fact that knowing what you're like and what you do. This is the funny thing with Festa, right? It doesn't matter what the model is. It doesn't matter what the model is. I'll always get excited about something Festa's building. And again, it could be a cheap £7 Airfix Spitfire. It doesn't matter, because I know that whatever Festa does, it's not going to be what's in the box and what's on the box. It's going to be something. It's going to be something unique, and I get excited for what Festa is going to happen, what festering is going to happen. I
did this with James at KA.Models when I ordered my next build for the live stream. That's what I want. Oh, he said, that's an interesting choice. I said, but I'm going to tell you something. He went, what's that, mate? I said, it's going to look nothing like what's on the box. He said, why am I not surprised?
Well, Festa was saying to me, he was saying, because I was like, I want to know what your build is. I'm not telling you. And he said, why are you so excited? And I said, I don't care what the actual kit is, but once I know what that kit is, I can start to imagine what you're going to do to it, and that's the exciting bit: is what you're going to do to it, the festering that will happen.
Yeah, I do get carried away.
But you could just be building like a load of Lego bricks into a stick of Lego bricks. It doesn't matter, but it's what you do with it. So that's why I get excited. Whatever Festa is building it, I always get excited because it's the festering that happens that makes it unique. It is the way of the future.
Yeah, that's your next one, see? That one.
Oh, I wasn't looking. Oh, see, I've got a thought of what that might be, but I could be wrong.
Go on then.
Well, I'm thinking by the colour of the box, it's perhaps Machining Krieger, but I could be completely wrong. Oh, I am wrong. Oh, in that case, I don't know what it is.
Completely and utterly wrong, mate.
Oh, because it looked like a sort of sandy brown colour box. I'm thinking that's Machining Krieger.
Oh.
So, no. Okay. Then I have not a clue.
That's because I'm showing you the back of the box.
Oh. Oh.
With the basic, this is paints, this is accessories you can buy.
Cheap tactics.
Yeah, you've not seen the front of the box because that'll give it away.
Oh, I shall find out on Monday.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the box art is nothing like what it's going to turn into. So.
Yeah. Like I said, it could be like a 5-part kit of a box. It doesn't matter. It's what you do to it that makes it interesting.
Yeah, people might see it and go, oh, so all it is. Well, yeah, but bear in mind, it's going to bear no resemblance.
Yeah.
The minute I said to Fox that I've got rolls of copper and brass sheeting and coffee stirrers are getting implemented.
I was excited.
Yeah, because...
See, Festa doesn't like photo etch, but doesn't mean it doesn't like metal parts.
Yes, I get to do my own sculpting of things, and there's going to be 3D printed accessories with it and all. I'll pull the resin printer out over the next couple of days, probably do it tomorrow, so that I can print them and get them post-processed, and then I can lay stuff out and give people a rough idea of the direction it's going to go. People might be interested, or they might go,
I think the fact that you're fettling with it will make it interesting to people.
yeah, I've seen something similar before, but I just kind of enjoyed what I saw done. I want to put my own take on something, so... Yeah.
Panzer says, okay, folks, time for me to get back to work. Have a great weekend all. Take care, Panzer.
Take care, mate. I think you might have already read that out once.
Have it? Sorry about that. Sarah Jane says, I've just finished a camo wrap on a model kit.
Oh, nice one. Get it.
And Edward says, you're really good at those decals, Sarah Jane. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
Exactly.
She also says, the box reminds me of particular manufacturers. Yeah, I thought it was Machining Krieger with that kind of tan box colour, but obviously...
Yeah.
At least the boxes I've seen from Machining Krieger.
Yeah, it's just something different, isn't it? And, yeah. I get to have a play with doing silly stuff and just, adding my own take to things, because why not?
It's like, if I gave you a model kit of a dinosaur, it would come out involving like bits of brass and cogs and like weapons and lasers and all kinds of stuff, and it'd just be the most epic dinosaur ever. All those kind of things. It doesn't matter what kit you get, it's what you do with it that makes it interesting.
Yeah, it's just one of them, I saw it and I thought, I could do something similar and just add it to a little vignette, and it's just something different, isn't it?
The moment you tell me that you saw it and you had thoughts is when I just get excited.
Yeah, because it's one of those you start running out of ideas, because there's only so much you can do to certain car and bike kits, and you sit there and you think, okay, I want to kind of do something a bit downtrodden and I spotted that and I'm like, I've seen something similar done, and it's like, yeah, sod it. It's 3 models as well.
Yeah.
It'll go up underneath the shelving. And it might garner a bit of interest when people come in the shop, when they see it. Oh, what kit's that? Oh, that started life as this. And they'll look at it and go, nah, did it? Yeah, it did.
That's the thing. You want stuff that stands out on their display shelf so they can
Well, this is it. And it's compact enough where it'll fit. You know, I could end up doing several types of thing like that for them, and it becomes a little nook that they've got on their shelving. So
The Festa nook.
yeah, that's the plan. So
Nice.
yeah, and I think they'll like it.
Good.
Can't see why not. I mean, James absolutely fell in love with that Berlin Dio, hasn't he? He's like,
Oh, God, yeah. Well, what's not to fall in love with?
you know, so. Right. Well, that's me at that stage. That's what I'm up to. I've got me torso,
Oh, yeah.
me canister with a little bit of lensage going on. And then I've done a back jetpack.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's where I'm up to.
I'll show you mine in a minute. I just need to stick on this
No,
arm
that's
that's
all right,
refusing to
mate.
stick.
You do what you're doing,
Stick,
mate.
you swine, stick.
But it's a start. That's the thing. You know what I mean? It's a start on that.
Right, so far I have done. Oh, I've started building two of the sword dudes. I can't pick him up because he's got wobbly arm. These are just the rank and file. I have built the Semenon Klempetos Arcanaut flag waving. I don't know what it's called. The Krypton Skeletobob wavy sword commander headdress nonsense dude.
Yeah.
And the big dude with a sword dude.
Yeah, swordy man.
Yeah, I have no knowledge about these guys in Age of Sigmar, so yeah. But Mama Wolf got me these as a present, so I'm building them.
Absolutely.
I'm painting them. So I built 5 dudes. Well, I've built 3 dudes and started 2 others tonight.
Well, you get to play with all that bone, didn't you? And that, you know,
I
it's
like to
good
play
fun.
the bone.
Well, I had heard, mate.
Yeah, but the thing is, it'll be good fun to paint because it's like the bone is just dry brushing, then you've got the armour on top and you make it all look rotten and
Exactly.
dirty, horrible. Filthy, dirty, filthy. So what's not to love? Plus there's a big
Exactly
monster in
that.
there as well.
Right, folks. Well, that's us 2 done for the night. Massive, massive, massive thanks to all of you that have come in and kept us company. We really do enjoy your company. Don't forget, Monday, 9 p.m, we're over on KA.Models' channel doing our new live stream builds for those. So pop in and see us there. Also, one to put in your calendar, first week of July will be the Wednesday show on this channel, Festa 67's Workshop. And that'll be starting at 9 p.m. The first one of each month is me and his lordship doing a bit of Warhammer stuff. And then the rest of the month, it'll be a group thing where people can just come in and do their thing. And then it'll be the Zoom and channel members for that one.
Yes.
In the meantime, enjoy your motorsport over this weekend, folks, and what other sport you're watching. Stay safe and well, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
Yeah.
All right, folks, take care.
Adios, amoebas.
Bye-bye for now.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little